Spectacular second game of the USBC Intercollegiate Team Championships. Only a tie in one respect. No lineup changes, but the performance by Eric O'Branson in the anchor position, he had to strike out to just get the half a point, and he did. So here's Kevin Tatro for Wichita State in the leadoff position. He looked down at his left foot as if something may have gone wrong there.
He's stuck, which may or may not have been the approach. Lots of times it's when you get a little bit out of time is when your footwork gets bad. But you can see as he goes, and he ends up way forward. At that point, once your head gets in front of your knee, you're pretty much dead at that point. You have very little leverage, and you're not going to throw a very good shot.
That sleeper back there makes this tricky.
Trouble.
Or not.
Well, he's lined up now to go high flush next time.
Just lather, rinse, repeat, and you'll be okay. Cruz Webster out of the leadoff position for the Warriors has been effective. Same situation as in the second game. If Weber wins this game, they win the national championship, the first for the men. And if they tie the game, they are also national champions because they'll get to that magical 2. And as soon as we say how effective he's been, he leaves that.
Yeah, he moved a little deeper there. I was surprised. I guess they anticipated a little bit of breakdown and decided to try and get ahead of it, but that was a little bit of an over move. Crossing 16, he's been around 13, 14 spot, but he's looked like he's at least another 2 boards deeper with his feet.
No trouble.
Perfectly executed.
And we'll get a look at Jeffrey Young, the national singles champion. And the wire for this team, the guy who gets them going, both in talent and in emotion.
Nope.
You expected something worse there.
Yeah, he said push halfway down the lane. He thought that one was going high.
The dreaded push word.
Yeah. He evidently has the best ball reaction on the pair.
Well, that's what you expect from a national champion in an important game. So Brandon Hott, now the sophomore from Seminole, Florida, hospitality major. Yes, sir. Messenger shows up on time. Working the crowd and working his teammates.
Working the head pin, too. Head pin goes to the wall. Saws down the 10.
So the Swede, Marcus Burnt. He's just been a little bit off today.
Just a little bit. He, largely a rhythm and feel player. And sometimes in this situation where your adrenaline's running a little bit higher, on top of it being the Baker format and only throwing 1 shot every 5 and sometimes 10 minutes, it's hard to get into a rhythm.
Of course, I say he's been off, and we show that he has 2 strikes, so he hasn't been that far off. And he covers that 3-pin very, very easily.
The 2 out of 5 is a low percentage for Marcus. He's a great player. He's right to have Mika as his idol. Mika's the most successful European player ever, and Marcus is, you know, he wants to be that guy as he continues his career.
From Bayshore, New York, Jonathan Trzynski. That took a hard left turn. 3-6-10. So neither team running away from the other early.
And the main difference on this shot for Jonathan, he got forward early in his approach, got his head going forward, and then when he came back up through it, yanked it. Closed his shoulders down, something he didn't do in the previous 3 shots that were all rock solid.
Handled smoothly.
He's an easy guy to see because his swing is so straight, and he keeps his upper body in the right position and keeps it stable through there. He doesn't make very many errors. He's going to be a good shot maker all the way through his career.
Now Devin Bidwell kind of all over the board. A couple of strikes. He also has an open. Right through the nose and a 3-6-10. And he too, expert at knocking down a difficult spare. That'll bring up Marcelo Schwartz for Weber International's Warriors. From Babson Park, Florida, is Weber International. The university's been around a long time. But the enrollment, you could probably, maybe you are able to name everybody who's a student there. You could. 616. They are the Warriors, and they are rapidly rising through the college bowling ranks.
Approximately 5% of the university is on the bowling team.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Ooh. That's a calm reaction for him.
Both teams looking for a little spark here. Crosses 22. He's deeper than any other player on the pair. He's got a big hand, likes to really bend it, open up the lane, and they're starting to get a little bit easier. Expect a lot more of those from him.
Well, Eric Branson put on a staggering performance to keep Wichita State alive. He had a strikeout to force a tie, and he did. Well, now, that's how an anchor bowler is supposed to look. He in complete command of his game now. That's a big shot because Weber coming off that strike in the fourth with Schwartz and all of the emotion that went with that shot. And well, Branson counters expertly.
Happened in this championship match of your senior year.
Gary Faulkner. When he hits it, it goes. To the nose that time, though. 2-4-7 and the 8.
Yeah, this wasn't his best shot. This was inside a target. Crosses about the 8th, 9th board. It was probably a good 2 boards inside a target at the arrows and never got out to his break point, which on this lane is closer to the 2nd or 3rd board.
And he's not going to get a kick on the 7 pin. So the first major mistake of this match is made by the Weber International Warriors. All they need is a tie or a win, and they're national champions while Wichita State fighting for their season. So off the mistake by Weber, the open frame off the 2-4-7-8 left by Gary Faulkner. Wichita State has a 9-pin lead. 10 men's championships. That won't help. Kevin Tatro leaves with 310. Well, a couple of important milestones to consider here. Weber trying to be just the 3rd school ever to win men's and women's titles in the same year. The Lady Warriors swept Midland last week. Also, Wichita's Jeffrey Young trying to become the first man to win a singles title and to be on the championship team. And there he is, popping out over Tatro's left shoulder. Well, these teams exchange opens, so Weber, they don't want to hear any of this 4th game business. They want this done in 3. And they'll turn to their leadoff bowler, Cruz Webster. Ten pin's going to wobble, but it will not fall down.
It's a much better shot. Yeah, this time he crosses just right of the 3rd arrow, not just inside of the 3rd arrow. So he made a little move with his feet. This time it gets back from that spot that it didn't the first time. Still leaving the flat 10.
always wonder about the sports cliche of staying in the moment, and you're getting a good example. I think this sport really requires that as much as any of them, because it's such an individual pursuit, and yet you're in a team format. Wide right, and he got a lot out of that. Very fortunate to have a single pin.
Not his best shot there at the foul line. He doesn't post this one up like he normally does. Off of it pretty fast. Lost just a little bit of leverage there, so it missed the mid lane and went by it.
They needed a strike coming off of the open in the sixth. They get the solid spare instead from Young. We'll see if Brendan Hott can come through. In his frame in this game, he struck one of 2 Weber strikes. There's the Helmer Cup in the foreground off to the left there. That's what the winning team will take home, along with medals. Also getting a little bit of a break and knocking out the 6 and the 10, just leaving the 3.
You see a lot of players starting to struggle with a little bit of early friction there. It's a pretty low RG ball, aggressive cover on it.
And he manages. You can watch live streaming of major bowling events and check out other archive videos at the new home of Bowl TV. Find it at youtube.com/BowlTV and subscribe for free to be alerted when new videos are posted. So the Swede from Malmo, Marcus Berndt. 9 spare in his 3rd frame. Crushes that. And it gets a little more interesting as we start to wind this match down.
Well, and this is a ball change from what he did in the 3rd frame. Into a ball a little bit cleaner. Got this one to go through the front of the lane. The last one surprised him as well with how early it hooked. Great guess, well executed.
So here's Trzynski, 7 spare in the 3rd frame. You see what he's done so far.
He went high as well in the 3rd frame. I anticipate a move here.
Overcompensated?
Yes, and you know the thing is with him, last time he actually didn't throw a real good shot. He got a little out of balance, but he moved because his team was going high as well. His ball is actually clearing the front a little bit easier than a couple of the other ones.
And that E next to Weber, we're tied. Stands for even.
But in this case, that's in Weber's advantage. That's
That is
enough.
True. It's an excellent point, Chris, because a tie will win them the national title. Took care of it. But this isn't football or basketball. You're not running out the clock or going into a certain kind of prevent defense. And there you see, it perfectly sums up where we are. Remember, Wichita State absolutely must win this game. A tie does them no good. And of course, if Weber wins, they will take the USBC Intercollegiate Team title home. So Devin Bidwell, 7 spares, first time up. Trying to get a double for his team. Not quite a ringing 10, a little flat.
No, a little flat, but you know, with his speed and rev rate, you don't see that one stand too often. Watch the 6-pin right there. Lots of times, a guy like him with, like I said, with his speed, and then he's got about a 450 rev rate. He's used to that 6-pin coming out of the gutter and chopping the 10 down. There are times when a 10-pin like that looks a whole lot more than just 60 feet away.
And a lot small, looks like a duck pin. All right, now Weber in the ninth, and they go to Marcelo Schwartz.
Not a bad guy to turn to.
Getting his pre-shot routine apparently includes a stern talking to.
Javier gives him something every time before he comes up. He shouldn't be affected by the hook on the lane. He's already left everybody else. That hook actually helps him.
Right, came back and got the 4-pin down.
That's just what I'm talking about there. Their hook on the lane now is letting his ball get back from a spot that really no one else is getting it back from. That was a washout earlier in the match, sometimes a 210. Last shot was 23. That one was about 21. Got all the way out to the 8th board, made it back, tickled down the 4-pin. That was from way outside.
Well, if that's the last shot he's thrown in his college career, he won't forget it anytime soon. Whether or not it is the last shot of his college career rests on this guy. For Wichita State, max is 195.
Yes, sir. It's got to go.
He's not going to get the break on that 3. So Wichita State now falls down by a pin. He'll go to the spare ball. And that's Jezreel Tan, Women's Player of the Year for 2 straight years. She was runner-up in singles. Wichita State star. All right.
A really important fill ball here. It strikes here for 184, and that would make Gary Faulkner strike on either his first ball or spare and strike on his second ball to win outright by 1, but actually they have the extra pin account. The tie goes to Weber's advantage, would get them the win.
All right. 184 for Wichita State.
Any spare and 9 or better, Weber's your national champion.
There you go, right there. 19-pin fill to win the championship. Gary Faulkner has had an adventurous round. He's had some unbelievably great shots, and then not so much. In this match, in his 5th frame, he opened.
Better shot.
And that 5-pin was late, but it went down. Up last year. Now they're champions. Weber International captures the USBC Intercollegiate Team Championship. For only the 3rd time ever, a school wins both the men's and women's team championship. Be back to talk to the winners next.
The USBC Intercollegiate Team Championships is brought to you by Ebonite, Boulder Win, by Storm. Storm is the Boulders Company. Bowlers serving bowlers. And by North Point Insurance.
The lefty came through with the championship on the line to wrap it up for the first time ever. Weber International's men's team, in just their 4th year in this program, has captured the Helmer Cup. All right, Gary Faulkner's right here. Tell us about that last shot.
I just got up there, trusted my team with the move, and just made a good shot. That's it.
Is this the kind of shot you think about? Are there ever moments where you're sitting around maybe on a bus or someplace after practice thinking, it's going to come down to me?
Yeah, actually it does. I mean, I've been dreaming about this my whole life. I mean, everybody wants to throw a shot like that, so in this situation. So I'm just happy that my team trusted me, my coach trusted me, and I'm glad I came through.
I'd say so. Gary Faulkner and the rest of this national champion team from Weber International in Babson Park, Florida. They take the Helmer Cup to the Sunshine Stage. For Chris Barnes and our entire CBS